physically feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats, circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready?
So I got to give it up to Benjamin. Benjamin, those were some great dancing skills, buddy. He's right over here. Hi, everybody. Hey, Dominic, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Hope everybody's doing good tonight. We have our first show, the Sundown Sunday Show. It's going to be so odd trying to do this after doing the United States Drone Society show for so long. What do you think?
Hmm.
It's going to feel different?
Yeah.
New
Yeah, it
background?
does.
Got a new studio set up? What do you think? You okay, Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there interference or something?
Yeah. Are you having an audio issue at all?
No.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if your audio sounds low to me. Does my audio sound okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yours is all right.
Okay. Maybe I just got to make a minor adjustment there. Good. Well, I'm going to get right in and say hi to everybody in the chat. Man, it's been a while. I think the last show I had was, right at the end of December, and I was sick for a couple of weeks. It's kind of gross. I was supposed to have this show, the week before last. Didn't happen. So, yeah. So, well, Happy New Year to everybody. And I know Ray Kelly was first. How you doing, Captain Ray? And my wife, my number one supporter. We got Bud Bieber. Bud Bieber's in the house. So we got show icons. I think we're going to add a bunch more people to there. But I think a show icon's going to be someone, with like a unique personality, like Bud's. Bud's kind of like Bud has a home, but he reminds me of Oscar the Grouch. If you want to think about it, remember? Yeah, like Bud's that guy, but he's also friendly. So, he might agree. We'll see. Oh, Christian's in the house. How you doing, Christian? Glad to have you here. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Glad to have you here. And Jim's in the house. He's in the back. He'll be joining us for the chat. Yeah, to mention that, I think this show is going to focus more heavily on the chat. We're going to talk about the recreational aspects of, flying drones and, maybe, I mentioned in the intro tips and tricks, things like that, just like we did before. But I think we're going to be more based on the recreational side of drones. What do you think, Dominic?
Yeah, happy to chat about that.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you tonight about your new drone. I know a few people got some new drones, and I haven't been able to talk to them about it yet. And Steve's in the house. How you doing, Steve? Glad to have you here. I don't know if she said anything in the chat yet, but Maria Davis is with us too. She's in the back. She'll be joining us in the chat. Oh, Bill Walton's in the house. How you doing, Bill? Glad to have you here. And Jeff Norman's in here. How you doing, Jeff? Glad to have you here. He'll be joining us tonight. Nana's Attic. How you doing? Glad to have you here.
All right.
What's Nana's Attic's real name? Do you know?
Brad.
I'll probably forget that again. It'll take me a while. I'll try not to. Hey, Brian. How you doing? Brian's with us tonight. Glad to have you here. Thank you. I appreciate it. You like my fancy shirt, huh? Yeah, you know what? So I went out and I decided for the show, I'm going to have a shirt. So this is going to be my show shirt. I'm not going to wear it for any other time. I'm going to put it on before the show every week. And yeah, what do you think? You like it, Dominic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, I like it.
Sort of flannel.
Yeah, I don't feel like I went full-fledged Al from Home Improvement, but I'm getting there. Put a skill saw in my hand, we might have a problem. Oh, there you are. Yep. Glad to have you here. Another show icon. I'm going to add more to
Mm.
that list too. I literally just finished the intro for the show at like 5:30 this morning. I'm not kidding.
Mhm.
It looks like I got everybody. There you go. That's
Okay.
just so weird now. We don't have a show here to feature after that. So before I bring on the chat panel, I wanted to ask you, Dominic, you got the Maverick 3 Classic now, right?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
What have you been up to with it?
Just learning it and getting used to way more functions than already had than the Mini Two had, and just how elegant and how do I say, it's very easy to fly. I must say, you just you just hit those buttons and you just send it, rather than being worried that such a tiny little thing is going to get anywhere. This is just a big brute that I can just send, and it very rarely gets attended to.
Yeah, and
Because
one of the
I was just going to say, I must say that any birds around me would come up and have a look at the little mini and be, oh, yeah, I think I'll have a go at that. And then when I send it, they just run. They say, we're out of here. I'm getting
yeah
the hell out of there.
yeah. Now, before you had the Mini, so you were under 249 grams.
Yeah.
How does it work in Australia with your drone? Do you have to
Yes,
register
we
it
have
differently?
no. All of them are registered the same, but once you go into the your dashboard and control panel on the cars of self-service, you type in the ID, whatever you call it, the serial number. That's what I was looking for. You type in the serial number, you type in DJI Mavic 3 Classic, and it comes up as being over 500 grams. So I had to pay a $40 levy.
Ah, okay, okay.
So,
Interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
So I also wanted to say I mentioned in the intro that we'll be doing wacky news. I do not have a wacky news segment for tonight. Again, I was sick for a couple of weeks, so I just kind of was able to get the show ready for today. But wacky news is going to be a segment that I'm going to try to have every week. If you're interested, what wacky news is, go check out my Facebook profile. And you can, my profile's public, so you can go view the wacky news segments. I incorporate people from the drone community and things about them that are unique to them, and I
Hmm.
create these wacky fake news stories that I want to bring. I mean, I've gone as far as getting some. I got a fedora, I got a fake news microphone, and some wacky glasses. I'm gonna have some fun with it. Got a new studio set up, so I can actually spread my green screen out and really get into it with this. So it's gonna be fun. So with that, I think I'm gonna bring in the chat. Let's bring everybody in. Yeah, there we go.
How's it
Good
going?
evening, everybody.
Hello there.
Yep.
Welcome
Oh,
back, my
well,
friends, to the show that never ends.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It may
well,
change, but it will never end.
uh,
Who knows what that
Buddy.
is? I bet. You see, Bud, I knew you would know. Because you're like me, you're old.
Very
Mhm.
old.
Aren't we
Anyone
all?
else know what that is?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Yep. Welcome back, my friends, to the show.
Carnival 9, first
So,
impression part 2.
Jeff, I
Yes.
asked you before about that photo behind you. Can you tell us something about it?
Sure, I'm going to have to look up the name because it's a semi-long name in Portuguese. I'll just tell you the English one. It is called the Chapel of the Lord of the Stone. So, if you can see, this chapel was built on a platform of stone, and for about 2,000 years, that was used as a place that pagans used to worship. And then the Christian religion took over Portugal, and they built a chapel on it. However, nights where there's a full moon, the next morning, congregants will come to the chapel, and there'll be candles on the steps and on the beach around it that the pagans lit. So there still is a neo-pagan worship congregants there that go there. So it has it's about 2,000 years old, the rock itself, and it's weathered tremendous storms. But now it's a regular, proper Christian chapel, very small. Probably every one of you who is watching this doesn't have a room in their house as small as that chapel. It's really
It
tiny.
looks tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's used obviously for weddings. It's a gorgeous place, very
Small
scenic.
weddings.
Yes, I've seen many shots of it at sunrise and sunset. It is on the west coast of Portugal, so that's the Atlantic Ocean that you see. And I'm looking south to where huge storm clouds were coming in. I had about 60 seconds after that shot to get back and put the drone in the car with my friend Manuel Ferreira, who is a great tour guide. And it's a very scenic place. If you're in Portugal, there's
see.
this second most famous city for tourism is called Porto. Across the river from Porto is Gaia, and this is the furthest part of Gaia you can get to, but it's worth it. It's really a beautiful place.
Yeah, and what you mentioned about it's the way they build it. You know, water's so destructive. You know, and it's just like lighthouses. I'm amazed that they can just withstand so much for so long.
Yep.
It just shows you the build quality. You know.
Yep, like I think that was built. Obviously, it was updated, but it's like 1762, I believe, is the date in my head that the chapel was first built there, and it's survived. They've updated it. They've done maintenance, obviously, but
They knew what they were doing.
damn, yeah, these European craftsmanship is nothing to shake a stick at. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So Bud's having some internet issues tonight.
All right, I'll bow out and try it again.
I can hear you, but I can't see
No,
you sometimes.
Yeah,
You just
I'm
speak up.
Anyone
You're
else
back.
rooting for the Buffalo Bills tonight?
Well, I had it
I
on.
don't know.
Oh, come on, not sports.
No, I'm
No sports, no politics.
Hey,
Okay.
Laura, how you doing?
I'm back. Kinda.
Laura,
Now, hey, yeah, Jeff, help me with this because again, it was the '70s when I was in Portugal. Is that where Lady of Fatima is?
It's not that close to Lady of Fatima.
But I mean, not that chapel, but that was in Portugal, right?
Absolutely, yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yep.
Again, that was the '70s. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. That was, yes. I remember that a little bit.
Yeah,
The 70s.
Answer Steve Janess for Vermont Views. My channel name is Totality Films.
Yes. Even though she's an awesome musician, she has pretty darn good videos too, Steve. So
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it and share
whole
it in the chat in
package.
just a minute here. I'll share the link to your channel.
And music is just Maria Davis Music. Find me anywhere with that name.
yep,
Yep.
including
music,
some of the big places too.
Just search
I know.
Maria Davis and you'll get like 8 links that all work.
Oh, I know what I'll do.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
You
I
had the
got
contest where you posted like 12 of your songs that we could use. Can we use any of your songs without a copyright hit, or do we have to?
You
what's
won't get a
clear it with you?
copyright strike, but you on some of them you might get a copyright notice that it's
Okay.
okay to use it and doesn't affect your channel.
Right. All it means is that you can't monetize that one video.
Yeah.
don't.
I do it all the time.
Yep,
I
it
use
won't be monetized.
yeah.
Right.
It's fine. Maria's stuff is really good. One of the best videos I did in 2024 is entirely Maria's music. It's just so good. It just strikes a great mood. So
Thank you.
you're
You
welcome.
can find a mood for the video that you're trying
Yep.
to edit. You
Yep.
can find a music that'll fit it. I don't edit, but I've seen a lot of edits and they use her music and it's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
It,
I'm
it
gonna-
just
Man,
works.
You guys are gonna make me blush.
I'm gonna mute my microphone and share a video on YouTube because Bud told me about a video he made a couple weeks ago. I was sick, so I didn't see it. He said about the duck we sent him, so I'm gonna share that in just a second here. But I'm gonna mute my microphone.
The 360 duck.
Yep. Assuming it plays.
Hopefully remember, we just have to refresh our screen.
Oh.
Even if it says we're offline.
It's starting. There we go.
But is that a GoPro on top of it?
Uh, Use 360 at 1x2.
360. Gotcha.
Little
Well, the echo
duckies.
should be gone if there was. I'm sorry. I don't know how to stop the echo.
That's fine. Yeah, I made that strictly for you, Paul, and here you've been under the weather and didn't get to see it. So,
Sorry, man.
well, unfortunately, I was going to give the duck the full city
Musical
tour, but
chairs.
dumbass me didn't check my battery level, and no sooner did I get up and I got to, you better land your ass. So I landed.
Yeah. So I wonder what causes that echo when you share the screen with the audio. I don't
Yeah, that
understand
was
why it
weird.
does that.
Because we hear the audio coming to
Yeah.
us, and you don't have us muted. You have to mute us, Paul,
everybody.
I think.
Interesting.
And
Hey,
we
Angel,
can't
how you
talk.
doing?
But it's fine. We can't talk during that time.
What? We have to be quiet?
I know
Yeah.
it's tough for some of us.
It's tough.
Most of us.
Tough ask.
All of us.
So the last time I went flying was actually the video that's playing behind Jim. We went flying together. I have some footage. I have to find it. He sent it to me and I downloaded it. I just don't know where I put it, which is
Yeah,
weird.
we'll get it.
Yeah, but I want to put together a video of it. We had some fun because we chased each other around with the Avadas, and
This is a high-speed chase right here.
yeah,
It's hard to see him because my head's probably in the way.
Oh, we
I do
just
this. You
went
can
by
probably
him.
find him. He's like over there somewhere. Like somewhere over there.
yeah. He wasn't catching me. No, he's trailing behind. That's all. He was trying to catch
Yeah,
up.
Avada 1 can't catch the Avada 2. Asshole, stay out of sport mode when I'm chasing you.
I had a pretty epic crash though, which was cool. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I could play it if you want me to.
I don't know why, but I laugh every time I've crashed the Avada 2. It's been hilarious and it's been a lot of fun. I know that sounds weird because you're crashing a drone, but there's something exciting about it, and the fact that it comes.
You
back
shrug it off.
Yeah.
You shrug it off. You turtle mode and you keep going.
Oh yeah, you taught me. This is the first time I've ever had to use turtle mode. Was here. You were like, put it in turtle mode.
I can look it up. I can play that as my background.
Yeah, that was good.
What lighthouse is that, gentlemen?
Ned's Point,
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Mattapoisett, Massachusetts.
that's an awesome spot to go and fly. That I probably during the summertime, the spring and summer when I'm out flying, I probably visit here at least once every other week.
Wow.
Yeah,
How far away is that?
it's about 15 minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Have you guys ever met Barry Mullen?
Actually, it's funny.
Haven't had the pleasure.
Yeah,
Wait, Barry Manilow?
no, Barry, the New England Dronalist.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. He shoots nothing but
Lighthouse.
lighthouses.
Right. He's got
Yeah, no, I
multiple
never ran into
channels.
him here.
hmm I tried to connect with him about 2 years ago, but he was too busy with work or something. And yeah, he has an appreciation for lighthouses like a lot of us do because we get nature and something man-made at the same time, and it makes for a pretty good photograph.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm froze again.
Oh, I like going to Castle Hill Lighthouse in Rhode Island. Castle Hill is nice.
So here's a question for you guys. What do you think about the geofencing going down?
Oh, good question.
Thank God.
So, yeah, this isn't something that's this is something
Good and
that's been
bad.
done elsewhere in the world too. This wasn't. We're not an experiment with this. This is something they've done before.
I just flew in the EU, and it's been that way in the EU for a while. It will warn you, but I've always felt that it was a big detriment for me fully endorsing DJI drones because there is no product on the face of this earth after you buy it, whether it's a car that can kill someone or a gun that can kill someone. After you buy it, you have to ask permission of the manufacturer to use it the way you want. It should be between you, your conscience, and the law. That's it. And if someone does something stupid, I hope they get really badly in trouble for it. But I don't want to stop in the middle of a job. I always had to carry a drone, an Autel or another brand drone whenever I did a paid job because God forbid I don't come home with what I'm paid to do if it was a one-time event. And you can't depend on someone saying, okay, yes, you can do it beforehand, but ultimately when you get there, you know, I had a graduation to do once and I was panicking because they took forever to get the damn thing back to me.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very, very glad they did it.
I was just gonna say that's a problem that affects a lot of people who work in. Sometimes they don't know where they're gonna be flying their drone at a certain time, and then they get there and they have to wait for a custom unlock, and it really can be bothersome. And I'm talking about a legit pilot who has their license and done all their training and is going to abide by all the rules and regulations, and they're having a tough time getting their drone up in
Most
the air
of
for a
us.
job because DJI says no, 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 you're not supposed to be there. Well, let the pilot. We're in America. Let the pilot deal with the FAA.
There's no excuse for someone driving 55 in front of an elementary school during a school day. There's no excuse for someone pouring their pool chemicals on their neighbor's lawn. And there's no excuse for you flying a drone and making people uncomfortable. It's you're responsible for it. And if someone breaks the law, I'm fully on board with the FAA sending the Department of Justice and making that person pay a penalty. But stopping me from doing my work when I'm doing it legally and I have FAA approval and I have all my I'm sorry, no manufacturer of anything has the right to tell me you can't turn on your oven today and go at 350 and cook that turkey. It's
All
ridiculous.
right. All right, Jeff, you're a whole lot smarter in this area than I am. So, not that I mean, I live in the middle of nowhere. I've never run into, where I have to ask for anything. So let's say I do get, asked to come fly something by an
This
airport,
Paul's drone
whatever.
right here.
So
This Paul's
previously,
crash drone.
DJI would say you can't take off, but now I can. But again, what if I'm too close to an airport?
Well, what's too close? Every airport is different. You know, what class airport? Is it a class B, a class C, a class D?
See, that goes right
Everything,
over
you
my.
know, you're saying what happens if the weather's bad? It depends on what that means to you. What happens? It depends on what airport, what height. Um,
All
Most
right,
of the time, what you'll get now is a warning. So, do you have the remote with the screen built in? Any of them?
yeah, all of them.
And do you have your cell phone connected to it as a hotspot so it can get interactive messages?
99% of the time, no.
Okay, then
But
you would be
again,
stuck.
Probably without knowing it, yes.
Right, you'd be
but
stuck because the drone will look at its GPS coordinates and talk to your remote and say, "Is there an unlock in this remote for that drone?" And if it's no, you wouldn't have been able to take off. Or then the bigger problem is this: I had an acquaintance fly in New York City over the river at 3 something o'clock. At 4 o'clock, a TFR came into effect, and he couldn't move his drone. And the drone hovered until the battery died, and it landed in the East River.
no kidding.
Oh,
Wow.
I've seen things about that.
So the
You hit a
problem
restricted
is,
area, it just stays there.
yeah, you can't get around things, and all this is worse because let's say, okay, I'm stuck behind something, but if I got in, I probably can figure out how to get out. This is worse because
As a
four
professional, yeah.
o'clock happened, the TFR happened. I don't remember if it was presidential or the UN. It was close to the UN, but at 4 o'clock, he couldn't move that damn thing at all. And went hovered, 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 and then went. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had an
And DJI says nope, pilot error.
No, actually, DJI did eventually cover it, I have to say. But the point is, he lost everything on the card that he shot that day. And if he's like a lot of people that don't know better, he didn't offload all his images off his card, so he lost probably a lot of things. What I do, which is a good habit, which I'm glad this came up, is every time I change a battery, I put in a new SD card. Every single time because they're cheap. And I buy 32 gig or 64 gig and I just change it all the time. This way, if I lose the drone, it sucks, but I don't lose all the images.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, Ray.
I have 2 brand new cards in the package, original SanDisk, never opened. They're always ready to go.
Yeah. I had an interesting thing happen with the Air 2S. I went to Mount Tom. I think it was Mount Tom uh, in Western Mass, and I was flying the drone, and I was going following the mountain, right? And I'm following the mountain, and then all of a sudden, I go to turn around and come back, and when I try to come back, it stops me. It says that I'm at some sort of zone, but it let me fly that
Oh,
way,
fuck.
but it wouldn't let me come back. I'm
How frustrating is that?
Now listen. Here's the thing. I was thinking I'm gonna have to go because down towards
Manual.
the left side was a big. It was a big mountain, so then I would have to go down probably. I don't know how high I was, but I had to be probably at that point the mountain maybe 800 feet or more high from down there, so I'd have to go land it way down there somewhere and go find it after. But no, luckily it just disappeared. But for like 5 to 6 minutes I was stuck. I couldn't get anywhere. The drone wouldn't come back. It just stopped. And I thought I was going to have to go land it or lose it on the side of a mountain, and there's no way I'm getting it. So I'm glad that they got rid of it because that was scary. That was a scary moment.
I had something very similar happen to that. Kind of, well, similar enough. I was when I went the other year to across border to border. I went to the Canada up there near Detroit. I stopped at the Arkansas River in whatever state I was in, and I'm flying out over the Arkansas River, and suddenly I get a notice saying that I'm in some area that I'm not supposed to be in. Took off just fine, no warnings, nothing like that. As soon as I was over the water, this happened, and the drone stopped. It just absolutely stopped, and it was the Air 2S. And of course, I'm panicking. I don't know what the heck's going on. But the only thing I did to get control back, which is weird, is I powered off the controller, the smart controller, turned it back on, and then it was able to reconnect, and I was able to bring it back.
The problem is once you let someone else control your drone, it could make a mistake, and they've made many mistakes.
Out of your hands. It's out of your hands.
Right. And luckily, most of the time, but certainly not all the time, they do make good on it, like with this acquaintance of mine. But other times, pilot error, shouldn't have done that. Sorry, sucks for you. So
Yeah.
I want it to be my decision, my responsibility. Just like if I go down the street at 60 and the speed limit is 45, if I chose to do that, I'll pay the ticket.
Now, this geofencing thing, I mean, there's still restricted zones. I mean, you can't go fly in a national park and everything like the Grand Canyon.
Absolutely, you can.
Because
what do you mean by
really pisses a lot of people off.
DJI won't stop you.
Can
DJI
you
won't stop you.
Can you physically do it? Absolutely, you can. Should you? No.
See, here's the question. Okay, before I
DJI
ever
won't
went to DJI,
prohibit.
I flew the GoPro Karma, and we're talking this is years ago. And I was in the Vermilion Cliffs area here in Arizona, which is near the Grand Canyon, but it's not in the national park. I couldn't even take the GoPro Karma up. It wouldn't even spin the blades, wouldn't do nothing. Would not let me take off because of where I was. And there was no geofencing with the GoPro Karma. So I wonder if that's something similar that'll happen with the
There must have been.
AI stuff.
No, I just think the GoPro Karma, unfortunately, as good as GoPro has been with camera and photography, they had a lot of weird issues with that drone, and only after they discontinued manufacturing it did they fix all the problems.
Oh, mine still flies. It still works.
Right, because the firmware updates fixed a lot of problems, but when they first released it, it was not fully baked enough. It was beta. It was,
it told me I was in a restricted area.
It wasn't baked enough, that's all.
And it's a shame because GoPro, has made very good products in the action camera for, almost 2 decades. They're
Sure,
really good.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, they couldn't compete with DJI. There's no way they could compete with it.
They just gave the drone. They just gave up the drone segment and concentrated on the camera segment. Yeah. They're like, we win.
So who right now, as of 2025, who has the best action camera?
I'd say DJI.
What's best? What do you mean by best?
It depends.
Overall, the best quality, bang for the buck.
Okay, I'll give you my assessment from using all three of the action cams. The um, the Insta is a very good camera with theoretically Leica lens photography stuff built into it. But if you're using it for something close, like you're trying to do a vlog, a video stream, or something, it doesn't focus well close, and it doesn't have great contrast. For stability, if you're doing something outdoors, then the GoPro is definitely the best. But at night in low light, and I use it a lot, it's not that good. The DJI is really good in all types of light. It doesn't have quite
Which one?
the Action Pro 5, the most current one.
Or
The Action Pro 5 is better. The only problem with it
Fine.
is it bakes in HDR, which you have to back out if you want it to look more natural. It looks a little bit artificial, and it doesn't have quite as good. I'm getting an action camera for action to make. I'm on a zip line or something like that, or it's GoPro is the best.
Fast frame rates.
Right, but at night, it's not that good. It's too noisy. But so none of those are perfect, and I would say the weakest is probably the Insta of those three. But they're close. None of them are bad.
right.
But if as a photographer, I guess want the GoPro because I want the best color accuracy and I use it as an action camera. I want it to be stable, and that is the most stable. And the DJI, I'm going to have a DJI definitely because I need to use action cams at night. So they're all good,
And they're all uniquely different.
and they're all different. There's no bad choices. It's just a question of
Yeah.
I hate
What
the
you
tiny
do,
screen ones, the little freaking tiny screen ones. Those things suck.
Yeah, I was looking at some GoPros just yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I went to Best Buy and I was looking around.
the
Stay away
Costco
from the 10 because it overheats terrible.
the what?
The GoPro 10.
The GoPro 9 and 10 did overheat if you weren't moving. But remember, it's an action camera. If you're using it in an action camera, you're gonna be moving. So people that said, "Oh, it overheats," in the studio, of course it's gonna overheat. It's not designed to sit. It's
Right.
Well,
designed.
it should be. It should be.
Then
You gotta have a fan on the thing,
no.
like many
I have a
drones.
12
No,
and a
fan.
13, and you don't need a fan on it.
I must have really good luck because when I did my
Other
border to
ones you do.
border, I was using a GoPro 10 that was mounted on the inside of the windshield that I was basically doing like a vlog throughout the whole thing. Never once had that thing overheat at all.
How
And
long
I had
did you let it
direct
run
power.
for?
Oh, I was
Yeah.
running it for 30, 40 minutes at a time with direct power going into it. It wasn't going off the battery.
I've done that too, and I think it's right beyond that is when it starts to overheat.
Yeah.
Again, depending on how cool is the car, what's the weather,
Mhm.
Where you got the vents located.
Right.
All I know is mowing at 2.5 miles an hour on my greens mower, it overheats.
Really? At what temperature outdoors?
80 degrees.
Yeah. Plus,
I've used
Yeah.
my 9 in 85 degree, but I was moving probably faster than that. Didn't have a problem.
No, the boss gets mad when I mow faster than 2.5 miles an hour.
Really?
Well, it's a golf course. Hey,
quality dips.
let's move along. The Neo came out since we've had our last show, and now we have
Yeah.
the Flip.
The Flip.
Yep.
Let's talk.
I think it's an ugly ass.
Who's got it?
I've got the Neo, and I'm unimpressed.
Yeah, from
It's-
what I've seen from the Neo, I'm not too impressed with it either.
It's fun. I mean, all the little things you can do with it, and it follows you. And
Without any wind.
But the quality is just, to me, not up to par.
Especially when the light is low.
Yes.
Not when you're used to 4K 60 in a Mini
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they probably made the Neo as just an introduction drone for people who want something that's budget friendly and to get an idea of what it's like.
It's
Yeah.
a
It's an
self-control.
influencer drone.
The
Yeah.
Flip,
It's an influencer drone. They can just put it up and go, "Boop, follow me," and then they got 30 seconds of footage.
and the
Yeah.
Flip is better quality, as basically the same exact optics as the Mini 4 Pro,
Pro.
but
Yep.
it doesn't have the obstacle avoidance. So
Right.
it's a little
Dang.
cheaper. You have the props protecting you, so it's class one. But it doesn't have.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not because it doesn't have
Oh, you're right. It
remote
doesn't have
ID.
remote ID. It could be class one if it was.
It has it. It has it in European versions, but it's not activated in American versions. Vic Moss
Right.
got that one.
Right. Yeah, I stand.
So it's there. It's there, but they got to turn it on, and they're not turning it on for Class 1 certification.
Right. It could be class one if it were for the fact,
Yep.
but it's built in, and it's not going to. It's not like you have to put something on it, and then it's going to be overweight. So
All right,
It's
well,
there.
okay,
They just
now,
got to go click and turn it on.
time out. Before we continue our discussion, how many have ever been questioned about, do you have remote ID? Me, 0.
you know when you're questioned on anything, is anyone ever walk up to you on the street and say, "Show me your car insurance"? Only if there's an accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Show
Only
me
if
your
there's-
trust card. Show
only
me
if-
your registration
only
with
if
the
there's an
expiration date.
accident.
No.
Only if there's only if there's a situation.
The only
Yeah,
thing I ever get is when I'm flying the golf course, they all want to know, am I going to make the video? You know, I mean, me as a golfer. I've
I
never
think
been
the remote
harassed.
ID.
no one comes out with a scale like a drug dealer and say, "Oh, how many grams is this?" Ooh.
Right.
No one cares about
Your
remote
battery's
ID.
overweight.
Right.
Remote ID is a good idea. Like, for example, that moron who was flying his drone during the California fires and hit the damn plane. So, I mean, hopefully they can find out who that was through the remote ID, assuming it was a
No.
DJI.
Wait,
remote
didn't
ID.
they get the pilot who had the collision?
Supposedly they know who it is and they're in talks,
There's
Good.
but I haven't heard anything else.
Right. The Steve asked the question, "Can you put remote ID on a flip?" You can, and then it's over 249 grams.
right.
So that's the answer, Steve. Yeah, they know.
Just like a mini.
Actually, at least 50 people have flown in that area when they're trying to put out fires. Though this is the only one that had a collision, sadly, it really didn't ground the plane because it continued its job that moment. But obviously, you don't want to fly a plane with a hole in the wing. But it's really only 4 millimeters thick. It's really, really thin skin, so it's easy
Yep.
to fix. That it really is. So the pilots were never in danger, but you don't want to fly a plane with a hole in the wing, and you don't want to.
I'm going to admit, though, I was amazed that a little drone like that actually was able to cause a hole in it. I was not expecting that when I heard that. That was insane.
Well, again, it was so
Physics,
thin.
my friend, physics,
Yeah.
mass and thickness and the tensile strength of the material.
Speed.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
kinetic energy. It's about kinetic energy.
and it's only 4 millimeters thick. Remember, you're trying
Yeah,
to
the
keep
aluminum
plane up in
skin.
the air. You're not trying to make the plane that it can ram into something. So what can I do to make that
However,
thing?
those kind of planes are, among other planes, fortified on the leading edge because they are intentionally going across the water surface, and they are very exposed to bird strikes being on the water surface. So they do have a stronger leading edge. That has been proven.
Right.
But still,
still-
the kinetic energy is still there.
It's still only 4 millimeters thick. It's reinforced in more places with those crossbars. I forget the official name for them, but here's the front of the wing, and the number of things that do this. There's more of them there, but it's still 4 millimeters. And yes, you could punch. You might be able to punch through it, or you certainly can bend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Steve Jennis has a question. Can't find the weight of the flip. It's 249, less than 249 grams. That's
But
all
it's
it
very
says.
close. It's very close. It's like 246. or something.
Typical TJI close.
Yes.
You can't put a strobe on it. You can't put a strobe on it.
You can, but it'll be over 250, and then
Exactly.
put on remote ID. So
Yeah.
Just like a mini. You can't put a damn strobe on it, or else it's over.
yeah,
Ugh.
All right, well, that brings me to another question. How many of you are 107s?
Not yet.
Almost.
Dominic, you can put your hand up. You've got the equivalent.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm pretty much
Aussie
similar.
equiv.
Yeah,
Hey, Chris.
No. I guess again, I'm just saying. I guess I'm lucky where I live. Everybody's more interested about whether they're going to make the video when they see my drone fly over them.
As
I got lucky
to
on the
whether or
one
not you're
time
legal.
fire that the fire chief let me fly it. Um, I thought about getting the 107 just because I do fly certain things that I probably shouldn't, but nobody's ever questioned me on it. So
Again, until something happens. If something
yeah,
happens, if wherever that photos video goes, if it was done not simply for your pleasure, to just flying around having a wonderful day, if you say, "Oh, I want some of this golf course," and it's going to help the golf course or the golfers, then you are flying under Part 107, and it's not that hard. It really isn't.
I understand. I understand. It's just my
Right.
golf videos are comedic.
It doesn't matter. It
I
doesn't
know.
matter. But it's like, oh, I'm just driving around on the golf course property with my Cadillac. You still need a driver's license. If anything
I don't
happens,
even know what golf course he
Well,
works for,
first of all,
so
it's
it's
not
not
a
like he's
Cadillac; it's
advertising
a
them.
Suburban.
well, you don't know, but he gives his videos to
To the
people.
golf course. Yes.
Right. And there you go. That's 107. And yes,
But
we all love
no,
Greg.
no, no, no. It's the foursome I play with on Sunday. I give them a copy of the video I shot with my drone. I give it to those three guys. That's
While having
illegal.
fun.
No, do you have the intent to give them the video when you're flying and making it?
Or
Yeah.
the intent to just have fun.
Well, the intent is to have fun and laugh at ourselves.
Okay. And afterwards, you decide, okay, yeah, sure, you can have a copy.
Yeah.
To get technical and to laugh at ourselves, there's your intent. To
So
get
is that
the
legal or
legally
illegal?
technical, I'm not, listen, I don't care, but if you want to get down to it, that's what they're talking about. Any intent other than just recreational, they say you need a 107, even if it's just to laugh at us, to
They
record a video
say.
of us laughing
They
at us.
say. We don't. They say.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. We're not enforcing laws. Someone else is. And it's all
Yeah.
well and good till something gets broken, as they say.
Here's a question. Since Bud's asking the questions, I'm curious if anybody has seen it or heard it or anything of somebody getting in trouble for not having a 107 but flying for what you would need a 107 for. Has anybody ever known somebody or themselves been in trouble for that?
Philly drone life.
Yes, many times. And as a
I
matter
was
of
going to
fact,
say other than Philly drone life. Yeah.
yes, a number of times, yes. And this is nothing at all to be afraid of. Bud, you are a smart man and you definitely can do this. And there's a bunch of good instructors on this. Pilot Institute, of course, Drone Launch Academy, and they all will give you discounts if you mention Paul Brown's name.
Oh, Drone Pilot Institute is great. Greg's a good guy. He's a friend
He's a
of mine.
great guy. He really is, and he brings so much to the community. And he's a great individual. He really is. And he's not the only one. I mean, I tell people buy one of those courses and then take what the hell is his name? Tony Northrup's free course. It's like 6 years old online, and it fills in some holes and it's great. Between the two of them,
That's
you'll
cool.
definitely get like 90%. But
See,
and you should do it. And then
See, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the process of taking the 107 from Pilot Institute,
Right.
but I'm going to have to do a full refresher before
Hey,
I actually
Michael.
take the test because I've got so much other stuff going on. I can't devote the time consistently to take that test.
Paul did a great job because he like took almost 2 weeks off and just studied. And most of
Yeah.
us can't do that.
Yeah,
But
I
that
can't
way
do
it
that.
stays fresh. If you take too long, anything you learn, you're learning a language.
Well, I
Here's
took
the
the test.
method. So this is what I did. I utilized Pilot Institute's course, right? But what I did was they have a practice test that you could take
Mhm.
every day after when I first started. When I got back into it to say for that 2 weeks where I studied, I took the practice test just to see how I scored. I didn't look at which answers I got right or wrong. I just looked at the score. I went back and
Hi,
I
Michael.
started through each section, and just every day I did the practice test again just to see how I scored. And then once I got through a bunch of the segments, then I started to score higher. By the time I finished, I did the test. I scored pretty decent, and then I looked at the wrong answers and went back and studied those areas. But the test was really easy. The best way I can explain it is just learn really how to read the map itself,
Yep.
because a lot of that can be deciphered just by looking at and paying attention to the things around, even in the general area of what you're looking at on the maps. But learn how to read an airspace map, and you'll do a lot better.
And these courses help you a lot. Hey, Bud, did you take the trust?
Oh, hello.
Bud, did you take trust?
I hope so.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm not assuming anything. So you know
And
how the trust
I barked
I
exam.
at
got a question.
I barked at 20 other people that, either bought drones from me or whatever, and they're like, trust exam, what's that? So I'm like,
Okay.
you gotta take it, dude.
Yep.
So
Carry it with you.
you can't
Just
fail
do it.
trust.
No.
No, you can't. You can't.
My last dog passed the trust exam. I swear.
My
Trust me,
5-month-old
simple.
kitten.
He was a service poodle for my deceased wife. He passed the exam. You can't. So anyway, once you get a 107, Bud, the
Yeah.
renewals are like the trust. You can't fail. So
Okay.
all you gotta do is do it once.
All right. First of
All right,
all,
so I have a question.
Well, Jim, go ahead.
All right, so
Hey, Dre.
I haven't taken
Hey, Trey.
the 107. I've got the manual. I've got the big giant,
The
the full
FAA
size
one, right?
airman's manual. Yeah, tells you everything, air wing configurations and everything. But my idea is that the whole test is that they have that available for you. So as long as you know how to look up something in that manual, that big one, then you can. As long as you know how to look it up, you can't fail it. Like, you may not know the answer, but you can look it up really fast because you've been through that manual for the last few months or whatever. In my case, year.
See, I'm 70 years old.
Don't sell yourself short. You can do this.
No, I'm 6'1". I'm not short. Oh, never mind.
Okay, I got something I want to mention. Well, now I got all of you guys here. If you guys want, I'm just gonna shout out to my buddy Chris. The Easy Drone Fest is happening. Okay, it's open worldwide to entries, but it does happen in Phoenix, where there's panel discussions, demonstrations, and a big event outside at Grand Canyon University. But it is a film festival for aerial cinematography. There's lots of different categories, and the cutoff date to enter is February 8th, and the event is March 15th.
What's the
So I
fee?
know that Pilot Institute's going to be there. I'm pretty sure Greg is going to be there this
Cool.
year. And there's
Nice.
so many aerospace places and so much tech. I mean, they even got that robot dog that walks around and everything. And it's really, really cool. There it is. Thank you so much. And you just look it up, the AZ Drone Fest, and the director of the event, the one who created it, his name is Chris Tenard. He's my best friend, and I've entered every single year. I've won twice, and it is definitely like the most awesomest film festival you could ever enter and actually be a part of, because you can go to it and it's an all day event.
All
So
right. So we can enter, and I could enter any one of my videos.
There's
yeah,
categories, obviously. Do you know how much each entry costs,
I
Marie?
think the entries are, it's either 40 or 50 per entry. There's lots of different categories. Just make sure, Bud, whatever you enter, it is the best of the best you have. Best
All right.
editing,
Well, I'll
best
check it
everything.
out. Yeah. Well,
So
I
you
saw
have
you
to pay
posted earlier.
$50 to enter it.
I'll just
Most of
take
these
it out of my
contests are
wife's
like
purse.
that because they have expenses they have to take. They have to.
Right.
It's the Drone Fest is a 501c3 company, so they're not making any money off of this. The cost of the
It's
entries is
charity.
to run the show.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
all 100% nonprofit.
Cool.
But here's an example right here. This is what you could win.
Ooh.
This is not plastic. It's crystal glass thing. This
Ooh.
is what I got last year, or no, in 2022 for best photography. So
Awesome.
this thing's heavy, and I
Yeah.
got two of them up here. And I'm telling you guys, this is what brought Chris and I together to begin with. I saw the first ever um, announcement for the first Drone Fest, and it was in 2019. And at the time, I was flying a Karma, and Chris and I just connected really well. We've been friends, really great friends ever since. And I only even though Chris is my friend, I still will only throw my support behind stuff that I believe in. And I really believe in this film festival. It's not just some knockoff thing. This is something that has so much work put into it. And the whole point of it is to give all the pilots out there a platform where their work can be seen. Okay, so there's going to be nominees in every category. It depends on how many people enter. Each category depends on how many nominees there are per
Right.
category. But there's typically anywhere between 3 to 5 nominees per category. And then on the event, we find out who the winner is per each category. So it's way worth it, and it's open worldwide.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
really hope to see you guys enter. And everybody who's watching, go to AZ Drone Fest or usdronefest.com. There you go. Paul put it on there.
If you
Throw it
type
up
in
there.
azdronefest.com, it'll switch you to
Yeah,
usdronefest.com/Arizona.
yeah.
Cool.
Me and
So,
Dominic are fighting with the chat tonight.
okay, thank you for letting me tell you guys about it.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm
We've just got to
bookmarking
get
it
our
now.
eye in again. We're
Oh,
not
by the way,
coordinating
looking
This
for
enough.
is
funny.
why I'm leaving next week, by the way. I'm going to
Yeah.
another state to fly.
I found out something pretty diabolical and interesting, by the way, over the past week. So I always look for new and
Diabolical.
interesting facts about kangaroos so I can make up funny things about Dominic throughout the course of the show, right? But I found out
Let's
something really
go.
interesting that kangaroos will hang out in the water, and when their enemy gets in there, they do it so they can lure them in and drown them.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Is that what
They
you do,
beat him up.
Dominic? You drag your.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
That's why there's no strippers behind them there in the screen.
No,
He
that's because
wanted
he's
his
at
money back.
McDonald's.
I need to get a demonetized soundbite. Boom. So we got 5 minutes left. I think this is a pretty successful first show. Like I said, there was no wacky news tonight. I was sick for a couple of weeks. So, what did everybody think about Ben's dancing in the intro? Huh? Pretty good.
Awesome.
I liked the new green screen effects. It's very much grander and very good.
Ben's
Yeah.
very cute.
Ben.
Very
Hi,
cute.
Ben.
Ben. How
Hey,
you
Ben.
doing?
He's sneaking in there.
Nice job, but with the dancing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan
I
of
can
this.
show video. I can show a video of me chasing Ben and the drones.
I just look at Ben and I can't help but think he looks like the last airbender.
Yep.
He wanted to copy me. That's all.
You got to give him a Patriots cap then.
Well, I have my this is my wacky news hat. This is gonna be my
Yes.
wacky news hat. I have a fedora with a blue feather. So we'll switch it. There we go.
Yeah, I got to work on
There we
some
go.
wacky news story for you.
With the wacky feather, which is not quite right.
No, you need to get a white card and put it on the side there. It says press.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
He doesn't
And-
even look like himself now.
There we
Fake
go.
microphone.
God, I know we have a guy in Chicago that looks just like that, unfortunately.
How far are you from Chicago?
55 miles southwest.
Have you ever flown in Chicago?
I prefer not to get shot at, my car stolen, beat up, robbed.
Have you ever
No.
flown your drone?
Identity stolen.
No.
No.
Don't fly your drone near St.
No.
Louis. I found
But-
that out the hard way.
I
What?
flew by St.
Wait,
Louis.
wait. If I go up 250 feet, I can see Chicago from where I live.
Okay.
So that's how flat we are.
Wow.
I almost got jumped and had my drone stolen on the other side of the river from St. Louis.
I flew there. I have a great shot of the arch.
That's where I was. I almost got jumped.
I did you actually almost get jumped, or you just were?
No, I'm serious. 5 guys came and surrounded my car, wanted to know how
Really
much I
impressed.
wanted for it. I said it's not for sale, and then they repeated it, and they surrounded my car. And luckily, a security lady on a Segway came around and took them off.
Wow.
By the Cargill plant.
All right.
I don't
So
know what plant was there. It was a park that was there
Yeah,
and
yeah,
green grass.
there's like a observation area.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ron,
yeah. I got video of it. Yeah, I got video of it. It's
yeah.
crazy.
And I
Security
want to tell
video that was in court.
No, it's from the drone. You could see the security lady coming on the Segway, coming around to save me. It was crazy.
You
I
got quite
love
some
it.
experiences.
Well, that's when I was going. That's the only place I felt unsafe when I drove all the way to Detroit and back not last year, but in late 2023. It's the only
yeah.
place. I mean, I was driving through Detroit and I felt safer.
Wow.
That's fun, cool cat. I
Uh,
like
Go
that.
ahead. I think
That's
Bud's
cool.
got something he wants to say.
no, I'm just agreeing with Maria.
Okay.
Just stay the hell out of Chicago.
Well, here's if you want to show this, Paul. I was probably right where Maria was, and I think it's great. The only problem is
Yeah, you're closer.
because at this lower, I guess it's the northmost base. There's a helicopter pad for sightseeing helicopters, and they take off like every 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And the TFR there is every morning from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. But at 10:05, I took off and I got that shot. It's beautiful. It really is. And I
Yeah.
guess maybe I got lucky, Maria, but I parked in the not at that park, but right
Uh-huh.
next door is a Cargill plant. They do some sort of agricultural processing. No problem. Took off. Just got to watch the wires there. It'll take you right down.
I got a good picture of the arch. I'm trying to find it on my computer here real quick so I can do a quick screen share, and I found it.
Yeah, and
Um,
Ron said he missed the intro because he was running to get his medicine. It's all right. I didn't prepare an outro for the show yet, so I think I'll play the intro again at the end.
okay, how do I do this? I just hit screen share.
Yeah, screen
And
share.
then yeah, and then
Okay.
pick the window of what you want, and then he can show it to people.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me
Oh yeah, I would want to also, Michael. I agree, 100.
let me
percent
see there that window. Okay,
Hmm.
I gotta figure this out.
Oh,
There it is.
There you go.
That's where I
yeah.
was.
Let's see.
Boom.
Oh,
So there.
wow.
Yep, there's so on the right here is the Cargill plant that I was talking about, and right next to just to the left of those lights, a stream of lights. It's like a little ramp that goes to the water. There's a parking lot there, and that's where I was. Where you were on the left side here, the left side of the lit area is like a observation stand, and that's
Yeah,
public park.
I'm on the left side, down a little bit farther. You can't see where I'm at, where I'm parked. But over on the right side, where you see that little building
That
there, where there's
yes,
a walkway,
yes.
that's where the security lady started coming on her Segway, and she went around the right side all the way around to where I was.
And if you see the wall to the right of that, I was on the other side of the wall on the Cargill property. So that's I didn't want to be
Right.
in the park at night because I knew it wasn't really well lit. But
Yeah, that's when I got there. I mean, it turned dark by the time I got there. I'm like, I'm not passing this up. I'm getting the arch one way or another.
and after 10, if you try to fly before 10, before DJI released their stuff, there was no way you were flying there anyway. So
Yeah, no, this was God, I think it was maybe 9 or something like that. I don't
I
know.
can't believe they let you take off.
No, I was fine. I was
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
The security lady's like, the park's closed. I'm like, please stay with me while those guys walk away. And she did.
Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm glad it didn't happen to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap the show up for the night. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. I think if you have something that you want to promote, now's your chance. Anybody got anything they want to promote tonight?
Drone Fest.
Yep, Drone Fest. I've shared the link in the chat, and go check that out. I didn't you post a? I think you posted a video about the AZ Drone Fest, didn't you?
No, I just posted I just
An
reshared
announcement.
what Chris did, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, I might make a video. I've got stuff on my Totality Films channel about the Drone Fest. So
Yeah.
from the years.
Maria, is there just a photo category in that? Because I just looked at
Yeah,
it quickly. Because
yeah. There's
all I
a
saw was
photo.
the video. Arizona is a video.
There's I won in 2022 best photography for a picture I took in Glamis. So yeah, there's landscape. There's
Oh yeah, it's still photography. Here it is. Yeah.
Arizona
All right,
still
cool.
photography and
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
it's
Narrative.
that's weird though. It says still photography, but it's 5 minutes or less. So
Yeah, no,
do they want a reel or do they want to see?
no. It's just a photo.
Yeah, okay. And then advertising. Yeah, I did. I just am finishing up something I did of the Sphere in Vegas, and maybe I'll send that in. Worth
Okay.
$50. What the heck?
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
and
it goes to highlight pilots. That's what it goes for. Whatever money goes into it goes basically in one way or another back to all the pilots to help promote their work and everything. So
Sounds good.
yeah, and I want to remind everybody, we're in 2025. It's winter time. It's cold pretty much across the entire country right now. A lot happened over the last couple of weeks too with the fires in California and everything. I was sick, and I can't tell you all the things I was learning about this past week that happened. I thought it was just crazy. When you start not listening to things on social media for a while, it's crazy the things that you come back to and find when you stop back in. So just be safe out there. And, in general, I know there's been a lot of talk about, the removal of geofencing. This was something that's been rolled out before. I think it's for the good of the hobby, especially, and in this aspect, not recreational pilots. I think this is good for people who have legit businesses and need to get out there and get their jobs done. This is a step in that direction. Um,
Gonna make it hard though.
yeah, I haven't been able to make an outro for the show yet, so I'm gonna do. I'll play the intro again tonight before we go. Bud,
I
you
think
have
we
something
should
you want
just
to
see
say?
Ben dance. That would be the best outro I could possibly.
Yeah.
He was good, man. He really is.
Get him.
All right. Well, I thank you so much, and remember, your mental health is important. If you're struggling, reach out and get help. Dial 988. Reach out to your friends and your family. Don't do it alone. I'm going to have a struggle this week. I found out that the records I've been waiting for are being copied. I'll receive them this week. So I'm going to have a lot of discovery this week. So it's going to be hectic for me. So you never know what people are going through. So, be nice to other people and just work on yourself. It's a new year. You want to have a New Year's resolution. Your only resolution should be your mental health. That affects every aspect of your life. No matter what it
Bam.
is, your mental health matters. Just, do the best you can. Thank you. And hopefully you like my new background. I got a big studio here now. I got room to grow. So thank you. Everybody have a great week.
You too.
Great show.
Again, I'm going to play the intro again for the outro. I'll have a new outro next show.
The sky's so far away tonight, but I can't lose this one. Get a pride of a falling night. Thought that I was fit to fight for us to be. You gave me life for loving me. Tell me, where did we go so wrong? Who ready? We ready. Who ready? We ready. Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Who ready? Who? We ready. Who? Motivation of youth only. Mentally feel like Kobe. I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me. I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili. From young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds seats to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready?
Benjamin, you're the man. You're the man. Have a great week, everybody.